Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Guess I will.
Okay.
Since everyone else was jumping at the chance.
Well, you have the glistening muscles. They want to see you flex. So go ahead and grab the door and give it a tug.
That'd be 17.
Wow. Okay. Good enough. Because you realize when you grabbed this door, it felt like there's resistance. And as you pull, you just hear these round little timbers. They may have been like quarterstaffs, and they just snap as you swing that door open. You're like, really? This is how you lock the door? As you open the door, and
I think someone's being murdered out there.
I think so.
Is anybody important?
People have finally showed up at the store. You like that? You like that?
Well played.
That's how we take out the whole group, just by moving them out.
The oldest trick in the book.
And the shorter than me fighter.
Theater of the mind. Of the mind. And you're hearing muffled cries from right there. There is...
I just wanted to eat
I
your
stole that
phone
one
too.
first.
You did, but I stole it back.
We don't steal.
A smell that just hits you immediately in your nostrils as you open the door. You recognize it. It's cooked flesh. Fresh cooked flesh. And as the fighter looks in there, you see a goblin kind of like half tied on the little altar here, with flames coming up where you believe his legs probably are, and a big gag on him. And he's just seeing the fires obviously on the other side of this altar burning his legs.
Soup's on.
I mean, wait.
His feelings about this.
Okay, so Goblin being cooked alive.
Mm-hmm.
What else is in the room?
Oh, okay. So, over here.
Smells pretty good though. Just saying.
I'm not taking culinary recommendations from the bugbear. He might be smarter than me, but no.
I'll be eating one.
Is a beautiful little fountain, sculpted, of bronze of a dragon, but it's obviously not a bronze dragon because it's got more of a fire dragon shape, but it's actually squirting water instead of fire. And obviously you have a feeling that either some craftsmen or some magic users made the fountain because it's spurting beautiful clear water. Like we're talking like Vegas style water display.
It's Bellagio.
Exactly. As you know. Go ahead and give me a perception roll. I'll let the ranger go too, because he's in between the legs.
That would be a 20.
I have 17.
Nike. Okay, so as you're looking in there, your eyes are obviously not caring about the suffering of the small goblin because it's a goblin.
I'm more concerned if there's other things going on about his. I'm concerned about his plight, but I'm also concerned about our plight.
Our potential plight.
If we may be too rash. It's unfortunate it's happening to him, but it's more important that it doesn't happen to us. That's exactly what.
So, and what was your roll?
17.
Okay, immediately you guys are both picking up that that there's two forms lurking in this room, both here and here. You're not 100% what they are, but they're hiding there, and they're just not hiding good enough. You know that there's someone squatting in the shadows in both of these spots.
Okay.
You are keenly aware of this. It's like the craziest looking kobold any ever. It's a kobold running with a knife in the air.
Yeah,
Didn't they know not to run with knives?
I don't think they care.
okay.
So the figures are just squatting.
Yeah, they're hiding.
Presumably trying to get the drop on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They heard you guys, talking and, like, oh shit! And they ran from hiding and lit the goblin on fire back when you guys got into that room. He's been burning ever since.
Okay, I'd like to take a step in and to the right up here.
Okay, so you're
And just kind of casually pull out one of the hand axes and huck it at that one.
This one?
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
Is it well hidden cover?
It's got cover, so yeah, it'll be a disadvantage.
So 21, not
That-
a natural
that
20
will
it
hit.
should have been.
As your axe goes flying out and it shears part of this little altar here and hits what's behind there. Go ahead and roll for damage.
5 damage.
As you just hear, and the axe just throws the momentum from the axe just throws the kobold's body out, and you just see it drop a flask of oil and a knife, and you just hear from the goblin burning at the altar alive. Okay, Ranger.
See, well, I still declared that I had my swords out from the
Yeah.
hallway. And I can either run up and maybe free this goblin, since I got an idea of the threats in there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run over and try to. He's bound. You're saying?
Oh
right?
yeah, he's bound to the altar in
Okay,
a really awkward position,
but-
so that he's going to cook slowly.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get alongside him and cut him free.
You mean his bindings?
Yeah, cut his bindings. Yes, his bindings.
I
Not.
free you.
I've been raised by wolves, but I know not to eat your foot when you have other ways.
Give me a quick strike roll.
16
Yeah,
plus whatever.
you go snicker snack with your dagger, and he comes free. You can tell that he's not really moving under his own power right now. He's been cooking. His blistering, popping flesh is hitting at you. It almost smells good. It's like
barbecue.
The skin tastes especially delicious.
At this point, his eyes have rolled in the back of his head. He's just groaning and on reflex.
Yeah. Can I, in a bonus action, at least remove his gag as well?
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
So
He's just going to start screaming.
Well,
I think I'm gonna.
Once
I'm
his
probably
eyes-
not. I'm not going to think that far ahead. I'm going to go ahead and remove the gag.
Once his eyes roll back, he passed out.
Oh, okay.
So you cut him free, so he's just laying just out of the fire. So and you're taking in this horrific scene of, for some reason you want to burn some humans now. See what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay, so no need to roll for initiative, except for that scared guy in the corner. So everybody roll for initiative.
Are you kidding me?
20.
17.
11.
A little
You're
angry
doing
there.
really well
I got an
today.
11.
I swear to God, I'm going to pitch my dice.
Oh, how bad was
A 0.
You're the cleric. You can react to what happened during the round.
it? Dex is your dump stat. We understand. This is not something to be ashamed of.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Coming from the rogue.
Just remember, the next time you have something that needs to be healed, and
Oh, now she's lashing out.
no, just speaking truths.
You know, from a meta point of view, the healer going last is actually a really
I
good
know,
thing.
I know.
It's just, so you have all the options of who to let die.
I got an 11. Did I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
she
you.
plays a good. She plays a cleric well, not like me.
So, fighter. Obviously, since you were drunk on the kill you just got, your adrenaline is rushing. There's a rushing sound in your ears because you know there's another one to slick your blade.
I'm gonna run around this side.
Oh, so you're so you can
Yep.
cut him off if he tries to run.
Yep.
And there's this scared goblin.
Oh, he's a goblin.
I mean, sorry, Kobold.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh god, oh.
Sorry, little fella.
I mean, like, why are you cooking your friends?
he's like really hungry.
And
Last
then
name's
sometimes
Dog.
like, and this kobold is terrified. He's got a little dagger, and you see he's got like 3 flasks of oil, and he's like looking over at the fire, looking at you, and now he's looking at the big sword.
All right, both hands, axe
Oh.
down. That would be 15.
That'll hit such a bad way.
And that would be 5 damage.
Okay, you just slash right through his chest here. Big crack opens in his chest as he falls back, and oil is leaking all over him. Thankfully, there's no flame sources nearby in the immediate moment.
Be like,
Oh, that's adorable. As the kobold's last breath gurgles through the opening in his chest, pretty much the rest of you guys, you get the feeling that it's all clear. So you guys could all enter if you want. There is light here. Everything else is dark.
Murder machine.
There's this horrible panting, breathing going on from the goblin that's burnt down to half a hit point.
okay, I suppose
Probably just stay
Are you going to use medicine or actually use
I-
magic?
you know what? I could probably just use the medicine at this point, because I'm just not feeling it.
Okay, so you're whipping out your
It's
healer's
just a
kit.
goblin.
Like,
It's
I'm gonna-
legless, it's legless, right?
Yeah. Cut his legs off, We had to amputate.
Pretty much. Don't look at the bugbear.
Oh,
I don't know what
his
he's
legs
eating.
were hanging.
Yeah, his legs were being cooked.
Yeah, don't look at the bugbear. I don't know what he's eating.
Okay, and as you're doing that, Ranger, by the way, you notice in this little area here, there's dozens of bones. It looks like kobold and different goblins. Different
Okay,
types of
so
goblins.
not just goblins.
It's
being
not.
set.
It looks like there's kobold remains in here as well. You notice the little reptilian faces. The skulls are there.
We've
looks like-
been taking our turns on this altar.
It looks like they burn people and then smash the parts and try to burn some more. And yeah, it definitely looks like it's a religious-y thing. Yeah. That and just the maliciousness of cooking them slowly.
You want to check
More tender.
see how bad he is, or just straight out healing?
Well, no, he said he's like a
Like half a
half
hit
of a
point.
point.
Yeah, he basically was at 0 when his eyes rolled back.
Troublemaker.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, I'll just, for the time being, unless he really, really needs it, I'll just use the kit.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a medicine roll.
Okay.
What's the worst that happens? You roll 1 and then he really needs it?
I'm not using that dice because I'm not being nice. Usually it's my really great dice.
Hey, if you're going to roll a 1, you pick the perfect time to do it.
Oh, I know, right?
It's the perfect time to burn a 1 on your
Okay,
dice.
so 20. I'm
20?
not- I'm not.
Okay, you immediately go over there. You start binding his legs with some pocus and some wrappings, and you pop a smelling salt under his nose. And you just hear this nice relaxed breath. So you feel like he is stabilized.
Works. And I didn't expend any spells, so I'm good.
Okay, now if the paladin wants to come by and burn a point of laying hands.
Well, reading on that.
Okay, so want to take a quick break?
Did I crack all of the flasks?
There's 2 skins that are still. If you want 2 flasks of oil, you can take 2 flasks.
Yes, and I'll check the other one as well.
Okay, the other one, he only had the flask in his hand. It's thankfully still there.
Okay.
You think it's like goblin stomachs that they use to make the flasks or something. It's you know.
I grab one, go up, hold it. Yeah, seems about right.
Yeah. So you now have some spare flasks of oil, which you could use to like make some fires in here if you wanted, or just keep it for later. You do notice with the one over here when you're pulling the flask out of his hand, he's covered in white woad. He's kind of a bronzish colored kobold.
Weren't the other ones also decorated the same way?
Yeah, they had the white woad. You had like the white clay woad.
Okay.
Not like the cool King Kong Island, computer circuit woad, but cool white woad.
And so this fire, is this just like a cook pot? Is it coming from somewhere? Is it
there's kind of a recess in the floor at one point, and they've just been building up with ash and just burning things and just kind of like sweeping kind of in a pile, things that fall out.
Okay, so it's like a
burn, sort of like a little burn barrel type of thing.
Type of thing.
You could poke through it once the fire's out if you want.
I was just going to toss the kobold in there.
Okay, yeah, you just toss it in there and it starts cooking like a sausage.
Shoot fire to death.
Yeah, we've already taken care of that.
Do you there's barbecue if you want some. I'm basically...
As you're hearing kobold pop into the flame right now.
One on a stick.
Cracklins. It's
Probably
Crack.
fish some of that out. And there might be a better skull too.
Oh, there's some really cool blackened kobold skulls and most of the goblin skulls are trash because they break those just out of spite. But of course, the kobold skulls they let sit nice, pretty as reference.
Right. So I fish one of those out, and then also some meat.
Okay, so you grab like one of the limbs cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have a kobold skull that's all blackened and ashy.
Mm-hmm.
Little heat cracks going all through it.
Clean that off a little bit.
Lick it with your tongue.
Look at you.
Now you have a black tongue with a white streak.
You're doing me a concern.
You're just now concerned.
He's an equal opportunity kobold skull collector.
I might be able to do something with these. Who knows?
Oh boy.
I can't judge.
So-
I have a collection of rodent skulls.
What is how does your little pet mouse feel about
I don't
that?
have any mice skulls.
Oh.
That's mean.
Oh, okay.
And what was your passive perception?
14.
14. Okay, good stuff.
We're getting trapped. We're about to get some.
So
You're
the
checking this one out. You're checking out the fire.
does the craftsmanship on the fountain look familiar?
The craftsmanship on the fountain looks amazing. You want to go check it out?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a water
Right
right
up, no.
there, but
There was at one point.
Isn't that the bugbear?
Remember, this is the Sunless Citadel after it got jacked up. And then repopulated. It's gorgeous craftsmanship. Obviously, it must be tied into some magical or amazingly plumbing thing, which orcs and goblins would consider magical, because it's squirting clean water, which you can by all means clean, your stuff up, get some water.
Actually,
out of it.
yes, I would like to drink some.
It-
This seems like a totally normal, completely non-meta thing to do. I'm just like, invariably I will be cursed and probably turned into something awful.
Actually, you just and it tastes wonderful. It's actually normal, wonderful water. Though at the exact moment you're leaning into the fountain Your eyes kind of look up, and you realize that this door was opened. And at that exact moment that you're drinking the water and you're looking out, here's the dragon statue, and you look up, you see the end of a swing of a sling of a kobold going, and you just see the sling open and the stone going flying right towards. Yeah, you're scary. Right towards you, just going right towards your eyes.
Okay.
At disadvantage though, because it's behind the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be amazing if
That would be
that
awesome.
would suck. Probably right
Oh! Well, a 6 hits you. As you immediately go, whoop!
I just dunk my head.
As the stone goes flying.
It's like, good try, sucker.
I failed. I tried so hard, but I failed. This is where I make the board really confusing. Because I throw a bunch of goblins on the table and they're actually kobolds. Could probably reach behind you and grab some kobolds, but eh.
Yeah, which school again?
I'm the Minotaur, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the fighter that was by the fountain.
Yep.
Not the Minotaur.
Oh, you're right. This guy.
Goblin.
As immediately we can use this guy. A gaggle of kobolds come piling out. So 5, 10, 25, 30. 5, 10, 20, 25. Which one of these 4 squares do you want to be in? Dan?
That one works good.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you being a nice guy.
Yeah, same initiative? Or?
Yep.
Okay.
And then here was 5, 10, 20. Yeah. And then another one there. So these two are the brave ones. They're balls to the walls brave. They're gonna dagger you to death. So this one's gonna swing his mighty dagger at you. These balls to the walls. Ooh, well, a 19 hit.
Yes, I will.
Okay, he comes up and the little bastard shanks you for 4 points of damage. He just comes up and shank right into your leg.
Okay.
This one, he's coming up to the paladin. He's getting all shanky. Will a 13 hit you?
Nope.
He comes up and you just hear the sound of what armor are you wearing?
Chainmail.
A dagger on chainmail skittering across. So then, see, this is the guy who went first. This guy is going to throw his sling at the paladin. With advantage, because he's got a buddy there, because they're bastards with their pack tactics.
Oh.
Good thing he's got advantage. Well, 12 hits you.
Nope.
As bolt goes, I mean, literally, one smashed against the wall, now another one smashing against the wall. And this guy, oh, damn. So he's going to be rolling just straight roll at the fighter because, pack tactics negates the disadvantage at least. Well, a 9 hits you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Poor bastards. These poor bastards. What are you doing? Weird. Okay, so that was their surprise round. Ha 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 ha. So, top of the order. Fighter, it's raining stones.
Yeah.
Knee Shanker! Knee Shanker's his name. If he lives, that'll be his name. He's Knee Shanker.
Yeah.
Yip yip.
Axe to the head.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, that hits.
Okay. 10 damage.
You swing your axe down and literally crack his skull just as he's pulling the dagger out of your knee.
No more knee shanking.
And no more.
Ah! Skull cracker! Okay,
and then I'm going to. Oh wait, I'm engaged with him.
Yep, you give him an attack of opportunity if you go.
Okay, I'll stay there.
Okay. He positions himself nicely there. Ranger. You cared for the goblin on the floor that these little bastards tried to cook alive.
Yeah, see, I think
At least you had the
it's
decency
pro-
to kill
it's-
their people
yeah.
first.
It's probably been too short of a time for me to have swapped my bow, right?
It's been long enough that you
Okay, yeah, I probably already
Okay.
yeah. So I already got the bow ready. So I'll fire at the kobold that's
This one?
next to the group. Natural
Oh,
20.
Jesus.
Nice. I like that die
We're gonna
now.
have to check that dice.
9, 12. Oh, wait, 13. 'Cause
You go-
plus 1.
Took right between the paladin's legs, you hit this thing square in the chest, and it just like stiffens and falls straight back dead. All of a sudden, a little splatter of water lands on him. Deader than a doornail. More kobold for the fire. Okay, paladin. So apparently the ranger's done your light work for you.
Who attempted to hit me with a sling?
That would have been this one.
I'll go to the bug. The one that looks like a bug.
So just here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You come all leisurely, barely taking like 3 strides, and you're there.
I will attempt to smack me. Kobold.
Oh man, it's a bad day to be kobold.
22.
That'll hit. He does this little meep.
8.
So you bring your weapon down, and he turns to like he does this. So I'm gonna run, and you just cut him down. Oh man, that sucked. That really sucked. Okay, so you go with where you're standing.
I will move. How much movement do I have?
Dude, you took 10 feet of your 30 feet. You took 2 steps, you know. You went stomp, stomp, squish.
I'm good there.
Okay. Okay, so it's going to be time for the kobolds to do something. Well, you see.
Not a whole lot of pack tactics left.
Well, you see.
It was a prank.
That door is the spawn point. There's actually 15 more in here.
You get kobolds cheap, trust me. So, yeah, this guy,
You could
yeah,
run for that door.
he could. He's thinking about it. That might not be the best door to go through, though.
Because it's trapped.
Stop looking at the map.
They don't run a road.
You know,
He's gonna go for the eyes.
he's gonna.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
He's gonna go ahead and run past this guy. It's gonna be ballsy.
So you get an
I will
opportunity.
take the attack
So
of
as soon as he gets to right here, here's your attack of opportunity. He's trusting in his fate.
Fate was not kind.
Okay. As you just kind of
I
like
think it hurt.
backhand from your previous swing, as he comes by, and just like you think you're being cute, just bopping your butt with it, as literally his torso separates, and he goes splat all over the altar.
Oh, look, they got their blood sacrifice.
As all of a sudden, this guy just sees running away with impunity because you just use your only reaction. So he's like, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then 2 more come out.
Darn it, those pack tactics.
And this one's going to go here. They don't have to flank you for advantage. That way he's got the escape. He can finish his move. He'll take his cut and run. So this one's going to go for a quick cut of your leg. Good thing he's got advantage. Ooh, will a 15 hit?
Nope.
He slices and finishes his move. This one, feeling awful lonely right now because he doesn't have pack tactics anymore. Ooh, well, a 14 hits you. And he's running. Actually, they can share the same square, so. That's it for their turn. So, Rogue. You've been seeing all these shorties doing the shorty stuff, and you're like, I can do better than that.
Can I?
Can
I
you?
really know.
You want to move around that, obviously, if you're going to take a shot or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna move out.
Eh?
Yeah.
I have a straight line of sight on you.
And then I'm going to shoot my bow and skewer them all in one shot.
like a natural 25 and take them all out at once. You're going to try
That's exactly
out.
what I'm going to do.
Do the false dude thing. She puts her mouse on the arrow.
Oh.
As you twing, and apparently it's because you were walking sideways and shooting, and just the altar just like clipped the arrow and kind of cattywamped it. Okay, so it looked impressive, but you can finish your movement if you like to move some more.
Yeah, I would like to continue. That's good.
You can go like that.
Sure.
Hide behind the big guy. Okay, so wizard.
Okay.
I have to say, there's a group in there.
Yeah. Move me up within.
5, 10, 15.
No, I'm over there.
No, okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. You want to be adjacent to one?
Why get in the way?
Can I swing on those two there?
You can swing
Like
on
one of
this
them?
guy, yeah. This guy. These two are just within. He's their bodyguard. That's why the one went the extra step.
Okay, so the two in the back.
Unless
I
you
can't
have
reach.
reach. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you have
you
reach.
have reach.
Oh, you have gorilla arm reach. Yes, you can.
So I'm going to
You're like, I'm
put
gonna
green flame down the quarterstaff.
Okay, as you lightsaber up your quarterstaff with your big gorilla arm, you go boom.
Right. And
It's even more obnoxious because they're so small and you're so big.
see if it actually works. Nope. The total of 8 is not going to hit, man.
No, you swing and obviously their little yippy heads, they're moving around. They got the little dog yippy lizard thing going on. It's because and they won't shut up because they're all yipping for fear right now, especially with your big old gorilla arms.
Yeah.
That and the probably thinking they can eat up of you for a month. Okay, so cleric,
Why'd you get in the way?
you can
Because
take him
I
out.
just had to try.
Remember, you're an evil
Dice
you're an
aren't
evil
gonna work,
hobgoblin.
Oh, I know.
Maybe
but,
you need to train the bugbear to not get in your way of your AoEs. As long as you heal him from it afterwards, it's a lesson learned.
well, you know, I do have spare the die. Is there any way I could move to where I have one of these?
20, 25, like right there?
I don't even have to get close. I just need to have them in sight.
Oh, right there.
Thank
you have all of them in sight.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch.
Now, is that a touch or is it a
No,
range attack?
it is actually a skeletal hand. 120 feet.
Okay, so what does your spell do? As you wave and it looks like your skeleton in your hand comes out and moves across.
Spell attack.
Yep. So let's see. You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range, and make a ranged spell attack against the creature to assail it with the chill of the grave.
All right.
So let's see here.
May you have better success than the big oaf.
13.
13? That will hit. As your hand touches... Now, which one of the three are you going for?
The one he was trying to hit.
The one... This
So
one
one of
will
those
say
guys
with
in
the
the
bow.
back was what it was trying to hit.
Okay, we'll say the guy with the bow. The minion that has the bow.
So-
So as your skeletal hand just reaches out and touches his shoulder, immediately you see that one reacting, and you're like, woo! They're not big on necromancy.
5?
5 points?
Yeah.
As your hand just reaches out, touches him, and you just see his cheeks just sink in. His eyes kind of glaze over like he's been dead for a while, and he just literally drops dead on the side of the touch of the hand. Does that do anything good for you?
Unfortunately, I don't think I get anything from it, but that works.
Oh, that's the cantrip one?
Yeah.
Okay, and immediately you just drained the life out of him. It says, all of a sudden you see frost of the grave on him. It looks good on his white woad.
Next.
Okay, so top of the order. Don't the kobolds wish they were going first?
They do.
So, fighter, rocks were flying towards your face. Now they're running.
I'm gonna swing around Free McLong arms.
I can throw you over there.
They look like a big straw. Can I still hit the guy that's coming to the corner to me?
This guy is going to be disadvantaged. That one's going to be straight roll.
Okay, then I will go for the guy.
And by all means, if you guys are playing a character, don't forget to remind me to give you advantage.
Okay.
Because you get advantage, and you get advantage, and you get advantage.
That will only be a 12 to hit.
But don't you know 12's good enough?
Oh, is it?
It is. You've discovered the magic number. Don't they wish they had... Oh, jeez. As you come walking by, just barely as the bugbear's pulling his quarterstaff back, you just... Wah! And just this kobold explodes.
Show off.
As your
That's my
axe...
thing.
Your axe just, without damaging your axe, you're seeing stone explode where the axe goes through this kobold so fast. As both of you are just covered in kobold. What was once inside is now outside and all over both of you.
You barely connected as hard as you could.
I know.
I'm looking at the door going, oh, come on, there's got to be more.
Don't you think? So, Ranger.
Alright, I'll slide up and, I'm short, so it's not like I'm blocking the Claire's line of sight either.
Yeah.
Not
So
gonna
there's
notice me.
one poor lone kobold.
And the wink for 11. I did not find the
his
magic
powerful
number.
D10.
Oh wait, this is plus 1 arrow. 12.
12. So you're using one of your magic arrows on a kobold?
You're using a magic.
Just remember when you run into a dragon and you wish you had your plus 1 arrow. You pull out for a second there. You do this whole. The camera focuses on you looking at this beautiful fletching. Then you look down the arrow and back at the beautiful fletching, and then you go, and the arrow just flies down there, and it just, the kobold is looking at the fighter and the bugbear going, I made bad life choices. I was told goblins were all pushovers. We got those goblins trapped in the inside of the dungeon. What the hell? And the arrow just kind of like nonchalantly sticks through his throat. And it's just looking at both of you. It's just, gurgle, 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 gurgle.
For 6?
For 6 points of damage, which is enough to take it out. There's kobold blood everywhere. It smells of iguana. Not to mention the cooking ones.
Oops.
Okay. So,
I keep looking at the door.
do you want to go to the doorway? You go to the doorway.
No. I'm saying I'm waiting for more to come out.
So go look at the door.
Because when you kick against a kobold, they just keep coming out,
The clown car of a room. Kobold clown car.
Exactly. I was just starting to have fun.
Okay, so you hear nothing but silence and the splashing of the fountain.
Oh, I feel disappointed.
And the sizzling of flesh.
So I'll go
Weird. Okay, so you're gonna... You see what obviously used to have been barracks that have been rebuilt. It looks like they've been rebuilt by both medium race and small races. But it looks like the current rendition is it's in Kobold hands.
Okay.
Because you see that there's like lots of cast off scales, there's like a community puppy pile bed in the corner. There's little rocks and scrimshaw shaped in eggs and dragon motifs and lizard motifs. And you see that there's lots of broken, looks like stone figurines that you may want to get a closer look to do a skill roll on to see what they used to be before they were defaced and destroyed.
Can I go scoop them up and put them in my pouch?
All right, you can just...
Okay.
I want some.
Are you going to go in there?
All right, so I'm looking at them. As
Magically, the rogue appeared right next to you. I've been here the whole time.
You want a history or?
It would be either religion or history would both work.
Yeah, neither. So
You have two that are kind of on the religious track.
Yeah.
but I don't want to give them to you.
Wow.
I got 17.
So you look at
That's
them,
my inner voice.
and you realize that most of the Smash figurines are goblinoid gods. You notice immediately the bug, as you look, the first one, you're like, this half is one of the Bugbear brothers, and you put them together and realize that these are goblin holy relics that were smashed.
Wow. Well, they're lost. How many of them are there?
Pretty much, you see a few that are smashed to dust that look like multiples, but you basically have, if someone were to craft and put them back together, you could get reasonably a full set of the Pantheon. If someone were to put that kind of work in it.
I thought she walked up there and started looking at them.
That's what she said she was doing, but she's so sneaky even she doesn't know she's doing.
Yeah, I'm super sneaky. Yeah. Have I seen them before?
You can give me a history or religion. City Goblin.
Six.
City Goblin. No, you think they're just some kind of wood, stone carvings. But
So
you think the egg ones look like you could sell them for some money.
I put the Bugbear brothers together and I say, does this look familiar? Like a deity?
So you're making it so it's completely noticeable.
Right.
And I probably still don't notice because I rolled a six.
Interesting. She has very little reverence.
I'll give them to the paladin and the cleric. They might be,
Oh,
if you don't mind. They look to be the
I'm taking one of the egg ones.
She's stealing the
Divine.
kobold scrimshaws. She's like, these look right.
So I scoop them up and I come walking out and I'm like, you two could probably use these.
I'll give the cleric that she immediately recognizes the Pantheon since it's her church.
Okay then.
Though you make better ones out of wood carvings and shavings of grass and wood.
Well, of course I do. Because,
Because you gotta give reference to the gods.
absolutely.
So, you guys looking for anything else in the room?
Is there any gold or coin?
You gonna
Probably
poke
silver,
around the
copper.
bedroll? That
I'm
the
gonna
community...
look for a secret compartment.
Go ahead, give me a perception roll, Mrs. Perceptive. So as the Bugbear goes stomping his foot around the bedroll, because that's where everyone hides their stash.
Mhm.
What'd you get?
I got 13.
Okay, so easily you kind of poke with your quarterstaff.
Ooh.
You hear some jingly sound, so you lift up the filthy, hides or whatnot that they're using for bedding, and you're going to be finding about 14 silver and about 10 gold coins. You can see they're all in a community pile. There's
So she probably, since she rolled higher,
she's going to find something else. She's
Oh.
I wasn't
yeah.
specifically looking for.
She's looking for
Okay.
hidden
compartments.
things. You're just looking for where would you put my treasure? Under
So
my
it's
bed.
10 gold and,
10 gold and 14 silver.
okay.
And a few chunks of eggshell. Of you think that might be what you've heard of kobolds. That it might be kobold eggs. Or it could be a dragon egg. You're not quite sure. I'm sure you could probably lie to someone to convince them it's a dragon egg.
Right?
21.
And with your 21, you start looking around and you're passing over the chump change. You're letting him have the chump change. you know, this is how things go. You look over and you find a section of stone that looks like there's 2 loose stones that can come out. And you go over there and you really quickly do your rogue thing where you're like, and the stones go, and inside you're going to find some shiny. Go ahead and roll me percentile if you have them. Not a D20. 12, good. So as you reach into the dark crevasse that your dark vision shows you, you know exactly what's in there. It looks like stones. Sparkly stones.
You found their stones. Who knew they were detachable?
Oh, nice.
Ooh, Jesus. So you immediately, when you move your hand and get the cobwebs out of there, you must have found like the guard stash. Because you found 16 gems that are worth about 50 gold coins a pop. This must have been like someone's huge freaking stash. Now, this is a massive stash that you just found.
Probably the
retirement.
retirement.
I was a week away from retiring.
And then they died and the castle got sucked down.
I'm gonna pocket all but 6 of them. And then come out and go, look what I found. And then give it to one of them.
10 for me, 1 for each of us.
No. See, there are 6 of us.
1 for
so
each of us.
You
get an additional 1.
So I get 11. Yeah.
So you got some stones.
I expect nothing less.
Yes,
so go ahead, give me a sleight of hand roll to make sure no one noticed this.
Well, he's the only one in the room and he was looking. Okay, just making sure that you know.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Sleight of hand? It's one that you're good with.
9.
Go ahead and roll again. You're at advantage. You was looking. I just want to scare you with the first roll. See what it
Alright. 24.
Okay, you were super sneaky.
Super sneaky. I'm all like...
sneaky. You're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 for me. Here, guys. And no one notices anything until all of a sudden, eventually, when you fall over and
I'm like one of those cartoon characters who's like stealing a bunch of stuff and they just fall over.
The one thing, the one natural one when you're stealing something that drops everything you stashed.
That would be terrible.
Shnikey.
You guys would be all like watching me all the time. And
So one stone worth how much?
Each one's
50.
worth 50 gold.
Okay.
This is like a huge cachet of money. Obviously, you have the impression that the kobolds did not know this was there. Or it probably would have been in their communal pile or given to their dragon god if they've got one.
sounds good.
Dragon god. By the way, speaking of dragon god, does our cleric want to deface the dragon here?
Oh, it is so pretty, but let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so give me a quick roll. Roll a d20. You can add like strength or dex to it. You're basically watching the cleric pull a Floki on this statue. Deface it. No Viking fans in the group?
I know, I got it.
I got it. I gotcha.
Yeah, a whole whopping 10.
Hey, it's an inanimate object. You just need a 10 or better to hit it. So you basically are going out there and you're just defacing it. Are you destroying the water feature of it, or just defacing the dragon?
Oh, just the dragon.
Okay, so you basically destroy the dragon, so you saw this nice little watery fountain-y thing, so there's fresh water. Because, you know...
And then I look at... Tithe, I think your food's ready.
As there's blackened kobolds.
Yeah, can I start pulling the ones that were making a boo? Can I start pulling them back into
They're small. You can
just
easily pick up all 3 by the ankles and throw them.
I don't like letting my axe go.
Okay,
grab one, and I'm just pulling them back into the main part.
We'll see what you do is you grab 2 by the ankles and you stick your axe in one and you bring it over that way.
That one was still stuck to it.
It's like a bindle. It's fine.
Exactly. and so you're basically piling them up so they sizzle, pop, or crack in the fire. Okay, so and you've got the best passive perception, 14, right?
Yes.
This little altar thing has got your attention, by the way. I mean, granted, your cleric may want to go deface it because it's got lots of little carvings to the dragon god.
Oh, here we go again.
And by dragon god, I mean the one and only true Tiamat.
It's just gonna get covered in poo.
And for some reason, when you go ahead and give me a religious roll.
Okay.
That's like your bread and butter.
17.
Tiamat. You immediately see Tiamat. You know, she's the god of thievery and evil. It's funny, but she's lawful evil, but she's the goddess of thievery. Mm-hmm. And you notice something's wrong in this picture. It's slightly different. Because, you know, Tiamat, many-headed dragons, from the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon we all love and know.
We all know who that is.
The center head in this picture is a white dragon, and the white head is like twice the size of all the others. Like, it's like super
So that's
characterized.
what they focus on.
Yeah. And you look at that and you scratch your chin. And then you look at the cooking kobolds that have the white clay on them as woad. And it's making you think. It's making you think. Then all of a sudden your eyes kind of focus on them a little more, and since your medicine is kind of your shtick too, you notice they've got like some of their scales have got like almost frostburned look that's healed over long ago.
Okay.
You can hate me.
Okay.
I remember
Am
I remember session 0, you said there better not be any blanks in our dungeons.
You didn't want dragons?
That's true. You were tied up that one.
I mean, it's not called Dungeons and Beholders.
No, because SR3 doesn't cover beholders. They're still copyrighted.
Why did they pick the
beasts.
white one though? White ones are the dumb ones.
Well, I mean,
Smarter than a kobold. Any dragon egg you can steal.
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Well, let's get to the defacing.
Now, are you mentioning this to the group? Because then I'll let all of you do a history roll if you mention it to the group. You don't have to. I mean,
No, I'm sitting there seething, and then I turn around and I start word vomit and just let them know.
so you're just like defacing away
Yeah.
and spouting. So everybody at the table do the history roll.
I don't think my character cares enough.
Give me a history roll just in case, because you hang out with the humans when you were young, and you heard a lot of things being said by humans.
Okay.
nice.
A natural
Oh my
20.
god!
2 natural, both the goblins, natural 20.
Both the goblins raised away from goblins.
Makes sense.
So our dear ranger, Aconite remembers the teachings of his people that in winter you fear when winter is coming.
Of course.
Because winter is not the name of the season. You call it the white season. Winter is the name that many creatures that you know of in the wild call this adult white dragon that is known to show up in the colder of winters.
Why do you think I'm wearing a wolf pelt?
Because, so you know that there's this dreaded dragon by the name of Wynter that comes whenever it's, she snuck up on you.
I was like,
I'm sneaky. What can I say?
And meanwhile, our city rogue, Miss Gigglesnort, who's used to listening to hearing all the stories, you hear the terrifying stories that were talked about in human towns that once upon a time, there used to be this worm speaker who'd come around and say, "Pay me money to keep the dragon at bay." And if they didn't pay them, this dragon that was known collectively as Wynter, different languages call it basically this season Wynter is its name in different languages. And if they mocked the worm speaker or accosted him, the great white worm would come down. And apparently 3 or 4 generations ago, wipe out entire communities. Less and less of wiping out, more of you just seeing on the horizon kind of thing now. But you know that come winter season, white worms or something that's in the area.
What season is it right now?
You guys picked winter. Remember when I asked what apple you wanted on the tree, the poison one or the healing one? I mean, it's like autumn where the wind is changing to winter, but it's, winter is coming.
Oh, man. Been waiting for that one.
The good part is that a dragon can't get into this small space that we're in.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you know what they can do? Drop it on us.
Drop what?
The ceiling.
You guys are in there, and it's just
They
out
have
there.
to find us.
Really? But, I don't think this is the thing that requires pinpoint precision. Just keep stomping until the screaming stops.
Just think of the experience, though.
Yes.
We'd be level 10 in no time.
But higher the danger, the higher the payout for experience.
What's in that other room?
We still need to deface this altar.
Yeah, she's going to town, destroying this Tiamat. And you notice that this Tiamat, as you're defacing it, you can tell once upon a time it was also a dragon statue to Tiamat, but apparently it was defaced at one point, hundreds of years ago, and then the Kobolds kind of like rebuilt it from their point of view, which to them, dragons are gods, so, But you can see someone once upon a time did deface this place, but this altar has always been dedicated to the goddess of dragons, of the selfish, evil ones. And while you're defacing it, go ahead and give me a perception roll. Now, I'm going to give you disadvantage because you're angry. You're angry and defacing this.
Oh, Lordy.
You seem very single-minded in your you want to deface this because, that's what you do, right?
Oh, son of a bitch!
What'd you get there?
Natural 20 and a 2.
Okay, I'll go get the stamp now.
I'll put my dice roll away. No, you just finished defacing it,
You can curse.
I guess.
horribly scarring up the secret compartment so no one will ever be able to find it.
Oh, jeez.
Damn it! I was gonna go get some gems.
Well, damn.
And let's see. Only 10% chance that Tiamat notices.
Oh, jeez.
It's got more important things to do. Okay. One doesn't listen to Kobolds in prayer. Okay, so she's working away on defacing that. So someone's gonna come over here.
Not me.
Yeah.
So you're gonna open the door?
With my long arms, about 5 feet away from it.
I mean, I've literally reduced the population here just myself by a quarter.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so give me strength to pull that
We're going
door.
to call you the Rock.
The rock upon which kobolds prey.
Nope. 7.
So you grab the door and you shake it and give it's those long real arms. You're just way overexerting to pull the door off. It seems to be sticking.
Okay, I'll walk over and try it.
Can I check it for traps and stuff?
Sure, after you roll.
Oh, look at that. Well, luckily.
He comes up and it seems really wedged as you realize the bugbear's still holding the knob.
I am literally amazed that every session that I've played here, and I'm not complaining, it's really flavorful, but these dice do not normally perform as poorly as they do when I play Goblins of Conquest.
I'm thinking
And
you need to
obviously
swap
it's-
dice with the range. So go ahead and roll for traps.
Well,
Oh, it's safe. It's safe.
Totally safe.
alright. Continue. As you were.
Who's going to carry the injured goblin? Or are we going to just leave him here?
That's you guys. You are evil races. If you don't carry your own weight, honestly, the hobgoblins would probably say if he ain't carrying his weight, we'll see if he's alive when we get back.
Well, that's
Culturally speaking, but
that's the question.
I mean,
are we
best
gonna-
case scenario, we know of a place where we can stash him that's out of the way and relatively safe. There you
And he's got food. and water.
And a fire to keep him from going into shock.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We could just, get some bedding out and say, okay, you're on your own.
He'll be comfortable.
You'll die.
I'm used to us goblins being expendable, and I got him off the fire.
What's this door made out of? Is it wood?
It's the same type of wood as everything else, yeah.
I'll take the axe to it.
Okay.
So-
You
so-
can do another strength roll.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's not like it's only a one shot. You can
Oh,
try
okay.
it again.
Oh, then yeah.
Can we work together?
Maybe there was just kobold goop there, and well, basically, yeah, you could go ahead and do the aid, so he has advantage on the roll.
Okay. I got a 19 on
20.
22 on that.
Okay, so he comes to help you, and you're like 1, 2, and the door flies open. Unfortunately, remember how it was clear of traps?
Yeah.
There's no traps or nothing there.
None whatsoever.
See, I'm so
Immediately,
glad I
you
don't have to worry
fling
about
open
that.
the door.
You hear it
Now, I'm
snort.
going to give you advantage on your dex because you rolled a natural 20. That's awesome shit.
And he's
Immediately.
in front of me,
Comes swinging an old rusty sword that someone had propped as a booby trap.
That's
Yeah, you're going to have advantage on it.
okay. 13 or 13.
Ooh. You just barely move back as your little blue hobgoblin nose whoosh, and you feel your hairs part to the blade. As I'm sure you're immediately looking at the rogue next to you saying, clear traps. Obviously, the trap would not have hit a goblin. It would have hit someone of medium size or bigger.
It looks clear.
We should.
As the sword swoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
In her defense, the trap was on the other side of the door.
She's going to
Different
kill us.
definitions of clear, apparently.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit me. It's clear.
I'm clear. I
Clear.
didn't say it was clear. I'm clear.
Okay.
After you.
I'm gonna peek around.
You peek around the corner?
Yeah.
You can give me a perception roll.
Feel a
I'm
quarter
assuming that's
strap
what you're
nudging
peeking
you
it for,
around
is
the
to check it
corner.
out?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
14.
14? You can tell right here there's a, some kind of pit-ish trap.
It's clear. Just kidding.
And we now see how the evil group plays.
Oh man.
And that's a great place to wrap it up there.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons